Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And it's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. I was sitting here doing a little reading, and I was in, just jumping around. Usually I have, a personal reading or something for myself, but I was just jumping around, and I was in the book of First Samuel, the 20, I believe it's the 23rd chapter, which I probably ain't gonna get in this lesson. I just mentioned it because that's what gave me the inspiration to want to do this lesson. It was concerning the time when David was on a run from King Saul. And it was at the time when David was on, and his men was on one side of the mountain, and Saul and his men was on the other side of the mountain. And they was about to get David, but the Lord had it to he made an escape for David. And it said that mountain was called, now in the scriptures it says Salah Hama Lakoth, but I believe in the Hebrew it's Shalai Hamach Laquath, if I'm not mistaken. When you go into it, it says the rock of escapes. One of the definitions was the rock of escapes, and it had another one that said the rock of division. But that one, the rock of escapes, that's what started getting my mind going. You see, that's what started getting my mind going. And of course, who should come to our mind? Yahawashi, man. All right, Yahawashi. Just like David at that time, And look, that's one thing too. When you read these stories about our forefathers, a lot of them took refuge within a rock, or within a cave, which was a big rock, or a mountain, which is again is a big rock. You see? And it brought this one of the scriptures I thought of after I read that in First Kings, that account. When I read that in First Samuel about David and Saul, it made me think of this account in First Kings. And it's something that these are things that actually happened. Men actually hid in rocks back then, but we spiritually doing it by what? Being in this truth, which is Yahawashi. Eating of this spiritual bread and drinking of that water. Getting this understanding this, and this is what's going to protect us in the times to come. Being within that stone, man. He even said it in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, which this is the time we fast approaching, in the 10th verse, that when the hour of temptation come, which the whole world will be tried, and we know you will be in some type of situation that's going to try you mentally, if you're going to take that MOTB or not. But Yahawashi, again, being that rock, said he going to keep us from that. Right, the stone of escapes. You see. But let me get this account real quick in 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, right? Because this going into, again, men on the run, prophets on the run, going through persecution by Ahab and what's his wife's name? Jezebel, I believe. Yeah, Jezebel. She wanted to kill the prophets. Again, the times we coming in, the world gonna hate us. Israel, who know they Israel, gonna hate the true believers of the Lord. Now watch what they did as they was on a run. And again, we spiritually tying this to us today, man. So this is 1 Kings 18, and I'm going to start at 1. And it's just a quick couple verses. It says, "And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth." It says, "And Elijah showed himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria." So there's a famine going on too. Just like Jacob's trouble. They're going to try to persecute the believers, and it's going to be famines and many other things going on. But let's see how the Lord protected his people, his men, his believers. It says, "And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house." Now, I don't know if this, the prophet Obadiah who got the book, that was, again, a common name within Israel, But it says in Obadiah, so like in Ahab, 1 Kings 18:3, and Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house, Now Obadiah feared Yahweh greatly. Now check it out. It says, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord. So when that persecution came, right, during a famine, suffering, it says that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave in a rock and fed them with bread and water. So they were sustained off bread and water. Now, again, this is something that literally happened. Men literally went into a rock in a cave and was hiding out. That was their habitation from the destruction. Well, the same thing for us today. Our habitation for living this truth, right? Calling on the Lord daily is what's going to allow us to escape from these evil times to come. And look, just like those prophets who was in the cave, they weren't just in there starving. Remember, it was a famine too. They weren't just in there starving like the people outside of the cave. They were sustained off bread and water. Man, that's all pointing to us today. What's the scriptures likened unto? Bread and water. Wisdom and knowledge gonna be the stability of our times while we in the rock. You see, matter of fact, let me grab a quick precept and we'll go back to that, because that's pretty much it on that 1 Kings 18. You know, like I said, I was just reading. My mind started going. But let me grab this real quick, hitting on that bread and water. This Sirach chapter 15, and it's going into wisdom. In verse 3, it says, with the bread of understanding. So they was eating actual bread, but the bread we eating is the understanding of the Lord's will, man. The understanding of prophecy, right? Which is the testimony of Yahawashi. The understanding of who we are, which ultimately is that breath. So it says, with the bread of understanding shall she feed him and give him the water of wisdom to drink. And again, those men back then was actually sustained off bread and water in that cave. But for us, in that cave, in that rock, we've been going through the same thing by this truth, keeping us alive. And that's two things that's needed in a man's life, bread and water. And with that, we got life, we got that breath. Right? And again, all these things are pointing to Yahawashi, man. Let's go back to that 1 Kings. This 1 Kings 18. And that's pretty much it on that. I just want to read it again. 1 Kings 18:4, it says, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. You see? So those men was able to what? Endure and get by. Let's get that Isaiah since we quoted it. It's Isaiah 33:6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge, bread and water, right, shall be the stability of thy times. And the strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. You know, let's get this, because Yahawashi also mentioned being founded on the rock. Hold on. Before we get that, let's establish who that rock is. It's 1 Corinthians 10. And I'm going to start at 1. It says, moreover, now this is Apostle Paul speaking to the Corinthians, which Christians would think would be, white people and regular Gentiles. But when you read this, Paul is giving Israelite history to these Corinthians, saying, look, y'all fathers, y'all forefathers, telling you those Corinthians was Israelites, man. Just like us in America, they just thought they was Corinthians, thought they was Greeks and Gentiles. But again, it's Paul giving history. Now he about to say something, right? Concerning Yahawashi, how he is that rock, and he we've been spiritually eating of him since the beginning. This is 1 Corinthians 10:1. It says, moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. So these Corinthians fathers was there, Israelites. It says, and all were baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. Here it is, it says, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock, All right. That spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Mashiach, Yahawashi, man. So Israelites as a whole been being sustained off Yahawashi, man. Since we became a nation on down to the end of the world as we in it today. Still being sustained by the Lord. That's why he said, lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. You know, and that's how we gonna get through these times. Let's get this in Matthew 7, as was about to snag. You know, real quick. And this Matthew 7, and I want it down. Matthew 7, and I'm gonna start at 21. It says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. So just because you have men, you know, on the highways with cameras, YouTube pages, and saying Kwame Yasha and t-shirts and fringes, don't mean they men of the Lord. Don't mean they in this for the right reasons. And first and foremost, don't mean they got Yahawashi, man. That breath. Remember, Ezekiel 37 say you're going to have some Israelites who got the bones, the sinews, the flesh, the carnal things. Judah. They know when well, I would say they know when the Sabbath, but they do the Friday, the Saturday, Sabbath. They know the carnal things, the law, but they don't have that breath, though. That's Yahawashi, man. So it says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven, those who really in him, who live in it. In other words, who made Yahawashi our habitation. This is our life. We wake up daily, go to YouTube. Out of all the millions of things you can watch on YouTube, we want to listen to men talk about the Bible. You know, our day consists of listening to lessons and reading. And you got to make sure you do a lesson talking about the Bible. Who else in this world is focused on that, man? Edifying the sheep of the Lord. That we make sure we walk according to what the Bible say. That ancient book in modern times. Who else really living it, man? And you know, we trying to the best of our ability, of course, because we still go out speaking to myself first and foremost. But that's the point of us glorying in Yahawashi, though. Because he helped our shortcomings. That's why we need him. And again, the scriptures saying what that is, Psalms 130, I believe in verse 3. If the Lord was to mark iniquity, who can stand? If we was to truly get judged for what we done, we'll all be through. But the point is, the reason why men are still standing, the reason why men, women, children, believers are still enduring is because of Yahawashi in the first place, man. Being that rock, sustaining us. We just hope to be that part of the number. The Lord gonna spare us in these times so we can get saved, man. That's what it's all about. But again, all roads point to Yahawashi. That's that man. But let's read it. It says, and many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name have done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. I never knew you. You was never really in it, though. You got some men who say Yahawashi never did miracles, changed the Lord's name and turned it back to Jesus, Most High Christ blessed. So you doing the works that seem wonderful, but Yahawashi not with you the whole time. That's a scary part. That's a scary part about it, man. But for our hope, it says, and therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. His house. What's the house? Us. Yahawashi is the foundation. So we inside of that rock, man. Just like David said. He said, Lord, lead me to the rock in Psalm 61. He said, Lord, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Well, hold on. David is the king. Who higher than the king? Even David understood he had a rock over him. That's Yahawashi, man. Psalms 110. The Lord said unto my Lord. You know? And it says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended. What's the rain symbolic for? Trials. And the floods came, test, tribulation. whatever we got to go through in the world. It says, and the winds blew and beat upon that house. So that's the different things we have to experience in this life. The different so-called L's we have to take, right? But as they coming and hitting us from all angles, it says, and it fell not. Why? It says, for it was founded upon a rock, man, because we in Yahawashi. That's the reason, if we build elect, that's going to be not that. He going to be the reason, the only reason we going to be able to stand, man. You see? Because we within that stone, again, the stone of escapes. Right? The stone of escapes. I did a lesson, a couple years ago, Yahawashi the Ebenezer. I believe that word Ebenezer is the stone of help. When the Lord said he come in a volume of the book, he wasn't just playing. But, right, it was founded on the rock, so that's the reason we ain't going to be moved. Let's get this real quick since it's the times we coming in. It's sustained off water and bread. But real quick, Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. In other words, because we continue to be within Yahawashi through the sufferings, through the trials, it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Come on, man. We know the Lord track record. Who helped Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they was in that fiery furnace? Yahawashi was there. That rock was there, sustaining them through the fire. Well, he promising the same thing right here for us through our hour of temptation. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. So it's trouble coming to the whole earth. But Yahawashi said he's going to keep us from it, just like in his prayer. In John the 17th chapter, he said, Father, look, don't take them from the world, but keep them from the evil that's in the world. And again, that's only go apply to those who are within him, man. Let's end it with Psalms 91. It's Psalms 91:1. It says, he that dwelleth in a secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Now, what's truly the secret place of the Most High? This truth, right? But who is the truth? Yahawashi. That's the secret, man. Come on, there's truth in the whole. But again, like it's a scripture in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, at the end of it, when Ezra seen Yahawashi coming back, he said the vision, and then he asked the angel for the interpretation. And he said, well, why did I see the man coming out to sea? All right. Now, when you read it in GNT, the answer was, Ezra said, because just as no man can search out the depths of the sea and can never see the bottom of the oceans, he said, just like that, will no man ever see my son or the ones who coming with him until the appointed time. So again, the secret place of the Most High. Everybody don't know about Yahawashi. We got that connection to him. We in him, man. We within him. And again, that's the truth in the whole. But I just brought up that to show you Yahawashi is a secret. No man can get this or even know about this man until the time he revealed. But we was letting him a secret before it happened. Again, I said it in a couple of my lessons before. We changed our lives for a man we never met, a man we never seen. But we believe on him, though. We believe it. Come on, man. So Psalms 91:1, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, under the Lord's protection, huh? It says, I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. It says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And it's the ultimate destruction when those missiles come. It says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth, that bread and water, right? It says his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. That's that whole armor right there. It says, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So look, why? Because they outside the rock. They outside of the house. That's why the Lord allowing them the stuff to happen to them. But the ones inside the rock, inside the house, right, within the Lord's confines of protection, it says, it shall not come nigh thee. And just like those prophets in that cave, people was going through a famine outside, but they were sustained, right? It says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. What's a habitation? That's somewhere so like I'm getting excited, where a person dwell, man. That's where you live. So because we live this truth, because Yahawashi was dwelling in us, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Because we in that rock, man. And again, being sustained off bread and water. Having Yahawashi with this truth, this was going to get the elect through them times. It says, right, he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. I'm going to jump down, verse 14. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high. What's on high? Come up hither. Getting beamed up. It says, I will set him on high. That's the reason. It says, because he have known my name, because we know him. We knew him. We knew about the secret already before he came. So when Yahawashi comes, it's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise, not a surprise as far as these people. What is it? Who is it? Right? You know, scared and shocked. We going to be surprised because he going to pop up. He's just going to pop up. Like his custom is, Yahawashi look. And that, again, we know him like that. He just pop up at times. You know, talking about Shalom. But he's just going to pop up. But like it said in 1 Thessalonians, those that love is coming. It says when we see him, we're going to be admired at his coming. Just go to Google and look up admired facial expressions. We're going to love it. We're going to be glad he finally going to be here, man. Because then that's going to be the end of our faith. We're going to have what we've been hoping for. You see? Well, let's read that again. It's a lot. I'm getting excited. So there's Psalms 91:14. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he have known my name. Because we know the Lord. He told Philip, hey, Philip, you been with me all this time, you don't know me? All right? He said, you know the way. Y'all know the way. Y'all know where I'm going. Y'all know the way to get to where I'm going. Right? We know that too. It says, and he shall call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. And with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So he going to be with us in trouble. And it says he going to what? Satisfy him and show him my salvation, man. The Lord going to preserve us through these troubles. You know, again, being in that rock sustained by bread and water. You know, so, you know, just want to touch on that real quick. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rachakwadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. They keep fighting, keep pushing, and with that, shalom.